Did you know there's an elevator in Time City that sometimes stops on a floor that doesn't exist? Security guards at Time City's Block C say the freight elevator behaves strangely after midnight. It should only have 3 basement levels, but sometimes the screen flashes B4. One night, a maintenance worker decided to write it down. The doors opened to a dark corridor lined with cracked tiles and rusted lockers, nothing like the rest of the building. It smelled like old metal and hospital disinfectant. He heard footsteps echoing behind him. When he turned around, the elevator was gone. Just a long, empty hall that seemed to stretch forever. At sunrise, the elevator reappeared in the lobby. Doors open, his toolbox inside. But he was never found. The CCTV glitched at 3:03 a.m., the exact moment he vanished. Now staff whisper that if you press all the buttons at once, the lift might take you there too. Did you know? In 1998, a mysterious radio signal hijacked dozens of U.S stations at once, and no one ever figured out where it came from? Listeners reported a robotic voice repeating random coordinates and eerie phrases in English, Russian, and Polish for 6 full minutes. When experts traced the coordinates, they pointed to an empty field in Poland. But here's the creepy part. Radiation levels there were higher than near Chernobyl. No power plant, no wreckage, no explanation, just silence. Governments denied any involvement. Some say it was an old Cold War numbers station reactivated by accident. Others believe it was never human at all, a signal meant to warn us, or maybe count down to something still unfinished. Because ever since that night, every 10 years, radio operators claim to hear a faint echo. The same coordinates, the same voice. So tell me, what happens when the next broadcast begins?
In a quiet, rural village of Myanmar, there's a school no one dares to enter after dark. They say during the revolution, a 500-pound bomb fell on that little primary school, right when the children were inside, reading poems aloud. No one survived, but at night, villagers walking by still hear it. The soft, innocent voices of children repeating the same lines together. Perfect rhythm, perfect harmony, just like the moment before the explosion. Some say the sound grows louder on full moon nights, like the children are still waiting for the teacher to say, "Well done." If you ever visit that road and hear tiny voices whispering poems from the wind, don't answer back, because those children never stop their class. They're still studying forever.
In Thailand, people say if you see a red string tied to your door handle at night, don't touch it, because it means someone already called your spirit. In 2015, a university student named Nisha moved into an old Bangkok apartment. She noticed thin red strings tied to every door handle in the hallway, even her own. Her neighbor whispered, "Don't cut them, it keeps her away." But that night, the string on Nisha's door started moving by itself, like someone was tugging from the other side. She cut it out of fear. The next morning, all her mirrors were cracked, and someone had drawn a red circle around her reflection in lipstick. At 3:33 a.m., her CCTV caught a woman standing outside her door, her neck wrapped in dozens of red strings, pulling tighter each second. When police opened the room the next day, Nisha was gone. Only the red string remained, tied around the inside handle. Now, in that same apartment block, new tenants still find red threads on their doors. When they ask the landlord about it, he just says, "Leave it there. It's already protecting you from her." Did you know there was a flight that disappeared before it even took off? In 1955, Flight 914 took off from New York to Miami. Everything looked normal, but just minutes on into the flight, the plane vanished from radar, mid-air without a trace. Authorities searched for years. Nothing. No debris. No distress call. All 57 people on board, gone. Then, 37 years later, in 1992, air traffic controllers in Venezuela suddenly detected a ghost signal. Flight 914, same call sign, same model, same crew listed missing for decades. When it landed, passengers said they'd only been in the air for a few hours. Their watches, tickets, and even newspapers were from 1955. Moments later, the plane was seized by authorities, the runway locked down, and the aircraft vanished again, this time forever. No one knows where Flight 914 went. Time warp, secret experiment, or something the world was never meant to see. What do you think happened to Flight 914? Did you know? A 6-year-old boy once remembered dying in a shipwreck from over a century ago. In 2006, a young boy from the UK began talking about the ocean, even though he had never seen it. He described a massive ship, its route, and even the names of crew members who supposedly died when it sank. In 1898, his parents thought it was imagination until researchers discovered a real shipwreck that matched every detail. When they took the boy there, he froze and whispered, "This is where I died." He pointed to where the ship cracked in two, the same spot recorded in the captain's log, word for word. No one had ever told him those facts. So how did a child born in 2000 know the fate of a ship lost over a century earlier? Coincidence? Reincarnation? Or proof that some memories never die? What do you believe? Did you know? On the Yangon-Mandalay night bus, there's always one extra passenger after midnight. Drivers say it starts with 10 people on board, but when they count at the next stop, there are 11. No one sits near her because the air around her seat feels freezing cold. She doesn't talk. She doesn't blink, just stares out the window like she's waiting for something. Sometimes the driver catches her reflection in the mirror, but when he turns around, her seat is empty, and yet her reflection stays there, still staring back. When they reach the final stop, everyone leaves, but that same seat is always wet, like someone had just vanished into the rain. Locals say she died years ago on that route, a passenger who never made it home. So if you ever ride the 3 a.m. bus and feel a chill behind you, don't look back. Did you know there was a witch who spoke out loud to hundreds of people, and they all heard her? In the early 1800s, the Bell family of Adams, Tennessee, began hearing strange knocks on their walls. At first, they thought it was rats, until a voice began speaking, loud, clear, and angry. It called itself Kate Batts's Witch and claimed it had come to punish the family's father, John Bell. The spirit sang hymns, argued with pastors, and mocked guests, sometimes even predicting their deaths. Hundreds of witnesses, neighbors, even ministers swore they heard her speak, as if the air itself had come alive. John Bell soon fell sick. His medicine turned to poison, and the witch's voice whispered, "I fixed him." The next morning, he was dead. Before vanishing, the spirit laughed through the house, a sound neighbors claimed to hear miles away. Even now, people say whispers echo near the Bell Witch Cave, where her voice still waits in the wind. Would you dare visit the Bell Witch's home?